Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League, showcasing another very powerful team featuring Toxicroak. Toxicroak, an amazing core breaker, particularly for the Virizion Steelix core. It will be serving as the closer on this team, along with Golisopod, one of the best Pokemon in general, overall, in the entire Ultra League. Very versatile on the safe swap. This thing is amazing. And a lot of fun to use, as well as being very effective, especially the safe swap. And speaking of effective, we've got Steelix on the lead because Steelix is amazing, incredibly powerful on the lead, where you can swap out of some of its really bad matchups in the Ultra League. I've been wanting to run Toxicroak for quite some time, and it just so happens to pair very well with two of my favorite Pokemon to run as well in the Ultra League. But here we go. Walrein lead, we had two amazing answers to that. Steelix pretty good into it as well. But we want to draw out something like this. A shadow. Is it a shadow? It is. A shadow Charizard lurking in the back. Surprise, surprise. Would you have ever guessed that there was a shadow Charizard in the back on any given Ultra League team? Here we go. We do bait successfully because they have to absolutely fear the liquidation with stab. It hits like a truck, basically one-shots. It would one-shot from that range with the fast move pressure, and we grab both shields with our Golisopod here. We're okay with that. That's all you can really ask for out of a good safe swap, either to get a shield advantage or to just outright flip switch for you. So we're going to let it go and look to come back in with Steelix and really load up on energy. From a team reading perspective, if you see a Walrein lead, they have a Charizard in the back, you can almost always bet the house that there's also a Swampert in the back as well. There's the Swampert there. I don't know why they wouldn't just bring it in onto the Steelix, but we meet this with our Toxicroak, slightly ahead on energy. Going for the Mud Bomb does some nice damage, and they have to Earthquake us, guys. If they try to hit us with a Hydro Cannon, we will survive, and we do. I understand why they did that. One reason could be they are unfamiliar with how much damage it would have done, probably thought it might have one-shot, but also because they wanted to get greedy and lead with a move, but that's just not going to happen. Steelix just shuts that all down, and now shields are down on both ends, and we are going to let the debuff train begin to pull full steam ahead here in this matchup. We've got one breaking swipe off. We're going for another because they're undoubtedly going to look to go for that massive EQ with the shadow bonus. Would be super effective, but Steelix has something to say about that. Getting off breaking swipe number 3. They are almost debuffed to the max. One more breaking swipe, they will be fully debuffed to the max, and I'm quite confident we survived this very comfortably. Not even in the red, and this is just about all she wrote here. This next breaking swipe will be sealing the deal, and just like that, we're saying bye-bye to the Walrein, courtesy of Steelix. This thing, quite powerful, quite strong. Good game, well played to them. This team was putting in a lot of work. Day one of this Ultra League cycle here, but here we go. Deoxys, very solid lead for Steelix, despite the fact that it is running counter, which is super effective. Deoxys will always struggle against the ground steel types in Pokemon Go Battle League. The reason why is because the counters don't have stab, doesn't hit particularly hard, and we hard wall every charge move possible for Deoxys. So especially with a Pokemon like Steelix, that can take a little bit of the sting off of the super effective fast move pressure. You often force them to swap out, which is what we see here. They swap into a Greedent, and we're going to meet this with our Toxicroak. Could be a Dark type in the back along with Greedent, which we see here. You don't want to meet this with Golisopod, of course, because that's not a good matchup. They double resist the fast move pressure, so this is definitely the alignment here. Especially knowing that they have a DD with loaded energy. So we're fine here. Gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. Just about KOs, doesn't quite, but we get one counter out of the deal. We are down a shield, but that's okay. We have loaded energy here. Not sure what they're gonna want to bring back in here. They bring back in the DD, and we should have thrown that Mud Bomb. I just didn't know if they would want to load up more or what they were going to do, but that's okay. They throw Psycho Boost, so that means they're going to swap out instantly. And there was another Dark type in the back. I was thinking maybe Mandibuzz, but it's a Greninja. So we're actually forced to bring our Golisopod in onto this. In this matchup, This is one of the very few matchups where X-Scissor would be really nice, but I think overall, if you want to run Golisopod in this meta, you need Aerial Ace. Comes in really clutch for Virizion, as well as Jellicent and Giratina. But there are a few matchups where you really find yourself wishing you had X-Scissor. This is definitely one of them. But we want to be versatile overall in this open meta here. So we don't plan to shield. I think we're going to put all the chips on to Steelix here. We did grab a shield from them. They were cautious of a potential X-Scissor, but since revealing the moveset, they let everything go. And now we have to shield this here, and we will be able to get off a Breaking Swipe debuff, which will allow that Hydro Cannon that hits like a truck to do less damage, of course. Going for the Breaking Swipe here. Not sure what they'll want to do. They do shield, and they swap out to clear the debuff. They were one off from another Hydro Cannon, so we are keeping that in mind. What we have to do here is obviously make it out of this matchup with enough health, but also make it out of this matchup with a move. And the fact that they're not throwing is fantastic. We're going for a full farm down here. They have to go with a Psycho Boost, and we should survive. I'm hoping at least. We do with 1 HP. We had to anticipate that Dragon Tail would KO. It did, so we hit the move instantly. We say bye-bye to the Greninja. Had to play that with pinpoint accuracy, and that paid off for us in the end. Good game, well played to them. This team was amazing. It was a lot of fun and put in tons of work. Very effective team for this meta, but here we go. For reasons like this, you love to see this lead if you are a Steelix, Pidgeot here, and they're staying in. This is easily one of Pidgeot's worst matchups in this entire meta. They must have something in the back that is also weak to a Steelix here. But if you're Pidgeot on the lead and you've got something in the back also weak to Steelix, you can bet the house that it's going to be worlds better than your Pidgeot. So I don't know why they are staying in here. They're going for feather dances. We're not shielding a thing here. And we're happy to put in, get in some damage on that thing. And they are core broken. They've got a Tentacruel in the back. So we see why they were staying in, but still, I think taking that much damage on your Pidgeot might not be the way to go. We do stay in to load up on energy, reading that they are very weak. So we take full advantage of that. We do shield up the Skull to preserve health. And we're going to bring Toxicroak here onto this Tentacruel. Both sides resisting each other's fast move pressure, but of course we outpace and we can hit this for super effective with the Mud Bomb. We do let the Scald go because although Toxicroak is on the squishier side, definitely not known for its bulk, we can tank at least one neutral move in this meta. And they shield and pivot back into the Pidgeot, locking themselves in. Again, a bit questionable from the opponent because we still have a very healthy Steelix, and we're just going to absolutely align that onto the Pidgeot. And I don't feel bad because I don't like playing against Pidgeot. We're going to undercharge this to just take full advantage of this very dominant matchup and look to farm this thing all the way down. They can throw whatever they want. We're not shielding a thing from this Pidgeot here, and we're just going to look to Dragon Tail all the way down to Funky Town. The Pidgeot's gone. That's a major obstacle out of the way for Golisopod, and we are roaming free. Holy smokes. They've got a Sand Slash. This is where you absolutely love to see your Golisopod because we hardwall the charge moves like you wouldn't believe. They pivot into the Tentacruel here. We're just going to look to get rid of it with an Aerial Ace. We do take out the Tentacruel, and now it is smooth sailing from here. Shields are still even. Going to go for the Liquidation and see if we can grab that final shield because we did think ahead and absolutely load up, but they're not shielding, likely knowing that they do survive a Liquidation here, and we're just going to let this go. I was hoping to get the final shield to land the EQ, but Golisopod has put in so much work that I think the Breaking Swipe energy is more than enough. We can go straight Breaking Swipe to close out this matchup here, no problem. They do let it go, likely recognizing it was not going to happen for them. Good game, well played to the opponent. Yeah, Toxicroak, an amazing core breaker in this meta. You definitely have to have the right team, and you can run a hundo in this meta, guys. You can run a hundo Toxicroak if you don't have the XLs or a good XL candidate, but we had a really bad lead there, Scrafty, which is why we've got Golisopod here on the safe swap, going for an Aerial Ace. They do pivot out of that with energy, and they meet us with a Cresselia. So core broken a little bit by a Golisopod. You love to see it here. Going for liquidation, and we do get the defense drop. That is amazing. This is another matchup, to a much lesser extent than with something with Greninja, where X-Scissor would be really nice. But not having X-Scissor in this particular matchup is a little bit more forgiving. You can still put in work here. And we are grabbing shields from the very bulky Cresselia at this point. And we will return the shield because we want to control alignment. We can't have that Scrafty anywhere near our Steelix. Once they get that power-up punch train rolling, Steelix does not last very long. Going for an Aerial Ace bait here, and they don't shield it, so that's all right. We'll go down on shields we'll give up our shields to control the alignment. Don't know what they have in the back. You want to control the alignment, if at all possible, if you're ever uncertain of what might be lurking. There is a Tentacruel, so this is fine. We now know what to do from here. Gonna go for an Aerial Ace, and I would imagine, yeah, they're gonna poison jab us down. We don't last very long there, and we're gonna align Steelix onto this Tentacruel. Steelix has a very dominant matchup against Tentacruel. If you can imagine, we are triple resisting this fast move pressure. And the Scald, although super effective, doesn't hit very hard as Tentacruel. Very bulky, doesn't hit particularly hard. We're going to go for another breaking swipe. And I'm expecting them to pivot back into that Scrafty at some point. So I'm waiting for it, waiting. They're not doing it. They're not pivoting yet. So I'm thinking maybe they're waiting for us to throw a move so that they can swap to clear the debuff, but they've taken so much damage. There's the pivot there, anticipating that they would try to do that after tanking the breaking swipe to clear the debuff. We catch that power-up punch on our Toxicroak. Not only does Toxicroak do very well against the Swords of Justice, but also against Scrafty, as we do hardwall that moveset. So yeah, that's why Toxicroak very good in this meta. A lot of people looking to counter Steelix. Toxicroak counters the Steelix counters quite well, if I must say. But good game, well played to them. So if you guys have access to all three of these Pokemon, I would highly recommend giving it a try. It is very good for the current meta right now. For reasons like that, it has Shadow Skuntank lead. That's an amazing lead. And they've pivoted into a Toxicroak. So gonna meet this with our Golisopod. We've got two excellent answers remaining to that Skuntank, so very few places for it to go. And we do land that Aerial Ace as they do let that go. We do survive a potential Sludge Bomb here, gonna let this go. And they do go right for it, good on them for that. And now we'll just look to win this matchup cleanly. I don't anticipate a shield and take out the Toxicroak, but they do shield. Oh man. That's a really bad shield by them because we can easily just shield this, even if it is a Mud Bomb. We just get farm now. It is the Mud Bomb, and we get some additional farm there. So not the best shield by the opponent, and we leave with energy to hit this Skuntank with. So gonna go right for the liquidation. We're only making it to one move. We go for the harder hitting move with Stab, and they've got a Greninja in the back. This is over. About as over as it gets. You'll love to see it. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. I had a lot of fun in the Ultra League with this team. It's quite flexible and very effective. And here we go. Charizard lead. You can rest easy and know that you win this in the twos on the lead up against both Shadow Charizard as well as normal Charizard, even if they successfully double bait. So we are happy to play out the twos as this thing is not great for our backline. They likely know the matchup as well, so they do catch our breaking swipe here onto a Cresselia. So we were happy for them to catch that debuff. So we do meet this with our Golisopod here. And we're coming into this matchup knowing that we're down a shield, but I was thinking that debuff that they caught will really come in handy here for us. So we're going to go for a liquidation here. and look to get some damage in, as well as a defense drop. That would have been very nice for us because Cresselia, very bulky. That bulk is just very difficult to handle for a lot of Pokemon in this meta. And we are just not getting the RNG here with the defense drops, which is quite unfortunate. But we know that we tank another Moonblast, but they go Grass Knot, so it's likely that they're going to try and go double Grass Knot. I should have picked up on that and maybe gone for an Aerial Ace to perhaps entice them to let the Cresselia go down, but we're forced to shield there. Another play we could have made was stay in a little longer with Steelix, maybe get in another debuff and leave with more energy. So they're playing this very well. Good on them for that. I'm going to have to eat a Blast Burn, fully powered, and we do survive. Steelix is an absolute monster, and we're going to go for the Breaking Swipe here. As for what they could have in the back, if you see a Zygarde, 9 times out of 10, it's going to come paired with a Swampert. So I have an idea that there is a Swampert indeed in the back. They did stop attacking there for a second to allow the Swampert to get ahead on energy. So they've clearly played the Swampert Charizard core many, many times in the Ultra League. They know the ins and outs of how to play the core the right way. And yeah, this one's not trending in the right direction because they seem to be so experienced with the core. They likely know they have to go straight EQ, and they do. And I just have to hope that this liquidation one-shots, but I know better than that. I know it will not, so not going to go our way here. I think definitely still winnable. Not gonna lie, I haven't played Ultra in a while, so this was my first time back in a very long time. But I think if we played a little bit better, that one was winnable. Good game. Well played to them. Oh, it always stings to have to lose to the most obnoxious core in the Ultra League. But here we go. This one was a fun one. I had to include this one. It's a 50% Zygarde, and for some reason, they did not like the sight of Steelix. They just instantly top left. But I thought that was fun to see, so I thought I'd include it. But good game, well played to them, I guess. Man, I would think that spending all that time grinding to get a 50% Zygarde, you'd at least want to give it a shot, but not that opponent. But here we go, Cresselia, beautiful lead for our Steelix, and they safe swap a Registeel. We had just the answer for Reggie in the back. Gonna go for the Mud Bomb, put the pressure on early on this Reggie here. And we actually make a questionable play. We shield this. Not the most questionable play imaginable, but we would have definitely survived a Zap Cannon. It does a little under 60%. So we would have survived that, and they still would have struggled to farm down. So not the best shield, but not the worst either. And they do just take their shield advantage and let the Reggie go down, knowing that they've debuffed us with the Zap Cannon. And they do bring back in the Cresselia here. But we've got loaded energy, debuffed energy, but still energy nonetheless. And they're going to throw, not looking to overfarm too much here. Whatever it is, we'll KO. Oh my gosh, it's a future sight. That KOs an entire generation of Toxicroak. And they pivot into a Scrafty, seeing our Steelix. We don't throw a move. Run it back if you missed that, but we don't throw a move anticipating the insta-swap so that we're not too far behind on energy. So whenever you run a longer duration, like 3-turn or 4-turn, and you're anticipating a swap, you'll want to hold off if you know that they're going to do that. So that's what we do there. We're in on the Scrafty here with our Golisopod. Now grabbing shields. They did let our first Aerial Ace go. And this could be a boosted foul play, but we're going to let it go. And we survive, and we are still resisting this fast move pressure long enough to get off another Aerial Ace here. They will survive this one as well, but they have to tread lightly, and they do give up that final shield. Now it is Steelix time. We're going to let this, they're already boosted, but we're going to let this power-up punch go, and we will look to shield from here on out. Gonna go for the Breaking Swipe, knock him down a peg, bring him back down to earth a little bit, and we can actually just farm down from here. We should be healthy enough to farm down, even though they are gonna boost again with this next power-up punch. And they don't want to get farmed down. They pivot back into the Cresselia, so we're gonna debuff it. Our health is getting a bit low, and they have not yet revealed whether they are running Grass Knot or not, so I don't know. We're about to find out here. They go Future Sight, so very interesting. Perhaps not running Legacy Grass Knot. I think you definitely want to have that with all of the water types in this meta here. But we're just going to go straight EQ, get the damage in on this Cresselia, and now it is just about smooth sailing from here. We should survive another move. No problem here from this Cresselia. And get that farm down. Leave with a move. The Scrafty is relatively energy dry, and that is about all she wrote for this opponent's team here. We're saying bye-bye to the Scrafty, courtesy of our Steelix. Steelix doing those Steelix things yet again. You love to see it, and that is the team, my friends. Good game, well played to the opponent. I wanted to kick things off this Ultra League cycle here with a very strong team for you guys. I wanted to run Toxicroak because I know a lot of people are looking to counter Steelix. Toxicroak core breaks, actually. Speaking of the Steelix Virizion core, one of the most widely used cores in the Ultra League, that being Virizion and Steelix. Handles the other Swords of Justice, Cobalion, quite well. Handles Scrafty, as we can see in this video, quite well. You just have to have the right team for it. And Steelix and Golisopod form a very, very strong core as well. So I thought it made sense to pair those two with Toxicroak. You put all that together, guys, that's a recipe for a lot of success as well as a lot of fun in the Ultra League. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.